Hey everybody, this is Mike with Anglers Sports Center,
And I'm Torrey Smith from Level 82.
and we're both here on behalf of Combos for Kids. Tori and I recently have teamed up to start a program called, of course, Combos for Kids, which does a whole bunch of different things. We're running a whole bunch of camps this summer and hopefully going forward. So today we're here kind of to give you guys a little info on what Combos for Kids is and what we're all about. First, I want to just dive right into that. So to me, Combos for Kids is all about family experiences. So we're trying to create positive, lifelong memories. And we're really doing this through unique fishing experiences, which is kind of how I grew up. And I think a lot of how Tori grew up with those sort of experiences. The other big part of this, in my mind, is really making this fun. So I think everything we're doing is all about having lots of fun. It's kind of like taking the best of, fishing, the outdoors, and piling it all in with all the fun stuff of being a kid. So prizes, games, food, all that kind of good stuff. So with that in mind, I feel like one of the things I want to dive right into is kind of our experiences along those lines. So just shooting right off of that, to you, Tori, what is your favorite memory fishing as a kid with your family?
I mean, I have a million and one, memories from my biggest fish ever, to even the smallest one. But I always take it back to the beginning. I still remember the first time my grandma took me fishing. We were down in where I'm from in Virginia, in Colonial Beach, right off of a creek off of the Potomac River. And I just remember us catching white perch. It was peaceful. It was just us. And it's something that still sticks with me to this day. And it really kind of sparked my interest. And then you go and you realize that there are more fish in the water than perch, catfish, and croaker, or rockfish, which is what we really enjoyed back then. And I've been exploring so much and learning so much more about the different species. And it really kind of all started as a child.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's funny that my story, I feel like, is kind of right along the same lines. It's not even actually fishing. So when I was young, we used to fish with my grandfather, like every day when we came off the boat, right? We all unloaded the fish. We all cleaned the fish as a family. Like, my sister, all the cousins, everybody was around. My grandmother would take all the fish fillets up. She'd clean the skin. She'd bake it. So it was kind of like, really the totality of the whole experience there.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. You talk about the family aspect, right? I think that's what we both enjoy the most about it. I mean, I even think of just the way I am now with my kids. I always imagine the day and what it would look like to have my kids and to be on the water. To me, it's the one time outside of eating crabs where you kind of put everything else to the side. You're able to just relax, enjoy some music. For those people who drink alcoholic beverages, they can do that as well. But it's just really a great time to be with your family. And I know for me, being a customer, of anglers myself, it's been a pleasure for me, even still learning to watch the way you are with your family as well.
Oh, I really appreciate that. So really the kind of leads to the next part of how has it influenced your life? Like I think of, again, spending so much time outdoors with my family. I'm like, man, almost every lesson I have in life or all these little things I've taken, I'm like, they were all fishing or outdoors or this and that. So what's one of the things you've taken with you?
I mean, I think just my boys. There's so many things in life. Obviously, I played in the NFL for 8 years. It's a lot of stress in there. A lot of trying times, a lot of highs, and a lot of lows. And for me, the outdoors has always been my way to get away from everything. And I really enjoy it. It's my therapy. It's my happy place. And my wife, she's always like, "Well, why do you like something that you can do alone?" And I was like, "Well, it was something that I could do alone. And now that my kids are older, I have my fishing partners. It's one of those things where I've loved that, again, you can just grab a pole and you can go. You can find water anywhere, a creek, a pond, wherever. And you can just go and you can just relax. You can get away. You can just think. And I've always loved and enjoyed that. And now being older, being that I literally like dreamed of, and envision being around my kids and watching them. And now that we're here, if you ask my son TJ or Cam what's their favorite thing they do with me, they'll tell you it's fishing easily. They won't even think twice about it. So for me, I think it's important to always, expose your family to those. And then for me, I know that's the best one-on-one time that I get with my boys.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. So along those the more fun part of this is being outdoors in general. Like everybody's been at least a kid, even if you haven't fished or hunted, you've been outdoors, which means you've stumbled, you've fumbled, like you've screwed up. So I feel like we all have great fishing debacles, like things that have happened on the water while we're fishing that are like there's stories forever. So what's your story there?
I mean, I think there's a million and one stories. Been hooked in a bunch of different places. I think that's always going to be at the top of the list. Just last year, I went fishing with a couple of friends, Bob Runs and on Measured Chaos, and we had a friend fall into the water, so that was a funny experience as well. He was safe and everything was all right. He knows how to swim. But just in general, you're in the water, there are going to be some things that pop up, whether it's I still remember my grandmother catching an eel one time, and my grandmother is afraid of snakes. So that fishing pole is in the Potomac River somewhere. Everything was gone. The pole, the rod, the reel, it all went right over the pier. So, there are so many funny things that happen on the water as well.
That's so funny. That's really funny. So the hook was where I was going to go on this story. So I can remember one time I went out and I thought I had all this fishing tackle and I didn't. I went plugging one morning and I had this light action rod and actually a couple guys who work at the store now were with me and I couldn't cast overhand. And so I ended up flinging a 1 ounce plug, 2 feathered hooks right in the back of my head. Somewhere I've got a bunch of pictures of that, but I'll never forget that one. And I just remember thinking how dumb I was at that moment. Like, I can't believe I pulled that off. Yeah, definitely does. So kind of capping all this off, combos for kids. I think it's something we have a lot of fun with. I think it's something we really enjoy doing, and we really do think is a great thing for the public. So what is it? Why do you think combos for kids is so important?
I think combos for kids is just a major blessing for everyone, right? I think what draws me to it is I'm from Colonial Beach, Virginia. I grew up on the water, so I just assumed that everyone had access to fishing or everyone wanted to fish, right? That was just kind of the way of life where I was, especially coming up. I don't know about now, but it was for sure that way. All the kids wanted to fish when I was younger. And now, knowing and living, in the area and being in Baltimore City, I realized a lot of people don't have access to it, and that kind of opened my eyes. And so, you want to expose people to the water who haven't had access or the opportunity to do it. But at the same time, it's about bringing families together in general, and that's everything that I'm about is just promoting family, and promoting a good time and a great experience. And again, I know what it means to my family and being on the water, whether we're fishing at our pond or, we're out on the Chesapeake Bay. It doesn't matter where we are. We have a rod in our hands. We know it's going to be a great time and a great experience. And everyone has that. And everyone should have the opportunity for that, no matter where you're from. So I'm excited and thankful that we're able to partner and make sure that we continue to create memories for families, just like we've had great memories ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's super well said. So for those of you guys who want to become involved, we have tons of ways you can get involved. So we would love for you guys to come and be a part of our program, nominate a family to be part of a program, or volunteer. So you can check all of that out at anglersannapolis.com/community. All the info's there for all our events. We have an event coming up in July, which I know we're going to have a blast with. We're going to be out there rock fishing out of Hickory Point, and then we have a crabbing one coming up too. So a lot of really great stuff coming up this summer, and really looking forward, of course, as always, to working with you, Torrey. So thanks for coming out.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. I'm looking forward to a great summer.
Yeah.